Hello, everybody, and welcome to Let's Talk Tech, or Talk Tech Live, as I abbreviate it to, where I bring you interesting people from the scuba world to talk about technical things, gear, deep diving, rebreathers, all that sort of stuff. And today, we are really fortunate in having Peter Thiel, the Chief Technology Officer of Paralens, with us to talk about the Paralens Vaquita and Paralenza company in general. From his CV, which I've looked at, and he seems to be a serial tech entrepreneur. He's recently joined Paralens in 2019. As you know, Paralens has been around a while with the Dive Camera Plus. He's responsible mainly for the back end. That's the software, the firmware, all of that sort of stuff. But I'm sure he'll be able to answer any questions you may have. So just put them up in the comments and then we'll have a go as we go along. And Critter Hunter's already on. Hello, Poe. That must be his wife, because Hello, Poe is a Tagalog courtesy. Right, so with no further ado, I'll bring Peter in and we'll get on with the first question. Hi, Peter.
Hello, Brian.
Peter's in Denmark. I'm sitting Matthias has just come on. Hey there, guys, he says. Have we got Critter Hunter, hello, Poe. And he's having a chat with Matthias, I think. So good, we got the team. So I guess it's winter for you there. It's winter for us in Dubai. We're freezing our ass off at 14 degrees C in the morning. Although we have had up to -4 in the desert. So, Peter, I'd like to get rolling just by you giving the viewers a brief introduction about yourself and why you joined Paralens in 2019. And what I'm really interested in, are you one of the investors? Because you've been a big kind of tech investor, not the other Peter Thiel, but you have been involved in a lot of startups. So I'm really interested to find out that and your backstory.
Yeah. Thanks, and thanks for the opportunity to do this Tech Talk. Well, first of all, no, I'm not one of the investors, and I was approached to buy the angel investor because I've had some companies he invested as well, and that was actually the reason for I got to know Paralens. A brief background for me. You are absolutely right. I've been in the startup business since 2000. Had some funded a couple of companies, sold some, and also had something not going so great, but just up and down. But for Paralens, as you mentioned, I joined it in early 2019, and I would say the reason I joined Paralens was it was quite obvious when I got to meet the team and I got to hear about the vision for Paralens. It was quite an opportunity for me to actually build a tech team we wanted to take in and say we have a great camera, we have a great diving camera, we want to do an improved version of it, we want to collect a lot of data, and we need to build a platform for actually sharing that data, making it a go-to place for divers to actually see and experience the ocean. And I found that as an extremely exciting opportunity for me. So that was why after a month of thinking, I said, okay, I want to join on this journey.
All right. So are you pleased with your decision to join?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, we have a absolutely amazing product. We have a great team. We have built a team, and now with the launch of Vaquita, I think we are ready for absolutely the next step of gathering information and make sure to have more people experience the joy of diving.
Okay. Well, before we go on to the next question, we just go through a couple of the comments here. That's usually we've got Critter Hunter and Lebo. You're in the room. Justin, I'll get your new challenge tomorrow. You might end up with a Critter Hunter challenge, Peter, by the end of this. Depends on the next question. So Critter Hunter started this Critter Hunter challenge all around the world. So he challenges other scuba tubers to go and find stuff. I mean, you really set me up recently. Asked me to go and find a guitar fish,
Ah.
but I did it, and I did film it, and I think you may have seen it with the Paralens Vaquita. Oh, Critter Hunter's been to Denmark. I went to Roskilde in Denmark.
Roskilde, yeah.
Off topic, I know. Well, that's you, Critter Hunter. He's having a good laugh with Matthias. Wet Souls are in there, another up-and-coming Scuba Tuber channel. Make very good videos, especially on marine life. When they put their marine life videos out, the quality is first class. And Critter Hunter, he's always going to be the last one commenting. Right, next question. Can you let us know if you're a certified scuba diver? And if yes, your experience as a scuba diver?
Yeah, I would say I am. Yes, I'm a PADI open water. But I took my certification, I think it's 10, maybe 12 years ago. And I only did a couple of dives, to be honest. What we want to do for all Paralens employee, and we are doing, we are providing an open water certificate for people. Most of our employees are actually divers, but me personally only got a couple of dives in the book, and then and then life happened, I guess, kids and wife, and then I stopped doing it. But absolutely now, after starting at Paralens, I've been really wanting to go much more.
So how far along the road are the Paralens staff with getting certified? I mean, it's winter now and COVID's around, so
right. Yeah, I would say we have. I think we are around 25 people in the company, and almost everyone is actually a certified open water. We maybe 2 or 3 not being that, and it's also because we have PADI instructors in house. We who's able to do the actually certifications.
Okay,
certifications. Yeah, and because of the weather here in Denmark this year has actually been quite warm. We have been able to dive up to November or something like that, easily, without being too cold. So I'd say
the reason I bring that question in, because I think one of Marco's slogans when he does his online marketing is built by divers for divers or something like that. So right. I just wanted the viewers to get a bit more of an idea of who actually dives in the company, which leads me on to the next question. And I think you've just partially answered, because you said you've got some PADI instructors. So are any of the full-time staff, I know you've got, I think, 200 testers in 36 countries, but any of the full-time staff, highly experienced scuba divers, and to what level are they certified?
Yeah, we do have, I would say we have an incredible amount of experience. I just when we started, we talked about, how is the diving experience. Then I would say all our sales team, they have lots of diving experience. Quite a few of them has more than 1,000 dives behind. Many years of diving, and like our CEO, 100 plus, and our CPO Martin, as you know, more than 150 dives. A lot of CMAS 2-stars instructors, or CMAS 2 certifications, and PADI instructors, as I say. So we have a lot of experience in that area. It is basically me tagging along on that one, I have to say.
So you've got the pressure on to get over to Egypt on holiday and something, and dive, right? Well, if you make it over to Dubai, we'll take you out with my Danish girlfriend. Did you know I had a Danish girlfriend?
No, actually, I did not.
Oh, yeah. She was born in 1976. She's blonde. She's got a body to die for. She's going to kill me for saying this, but she does take a lot of my money.
I know that.
Her name is Dubai Coronet from Boatvid Boat Yards. So I'm the owner of a Danish-built boat.
Nice. Okay, I did not know that.
Yeah, you'll see it on the channel. You have to look at all my videos. So yeah, I kind of feel a connection with Denmark through the boat, because owning
have you been in Denmark? Have you been in
Denmark yourself? Only once to Copenhagen. Okay. Yeah, but owning a Coronet is like owning an MGB. Yeah, it's got this mad, passionate following, particularly in Scandinavia. in Sweden, Denmark, and Norway. People absolutely just love them. And Dubai Coronet is there's 4 left, and out of 14, I think we were hole number 14. So yeah, that's my connection to Denmark. Out my Danish girlfriend. Everyone sort of goes, "Oh, what?" when I talk about it, and then I let them know it's a boat.
Nice.
Right. Again, for the viewers, because people like Brock, who's coming in later, and Matthias, they know a lot about Paralens, the company, but a lot of people, myself included, don't really know much. So can you just give us some information on Paralens? When was the company established? Who provided the investment? And what was the driving force behind developing a high-end underwater camera? I mean, whoever decided to go for that product line has really got, as we would say in England, some big balls.
Yeah, it's actually it's a great question, and I think the initial idea was born back in 2015, where the founders they had a company doing a lot of 3D modeling for bigger companies in Denmark, and as one of their customer project, they did a fishing camera, and they were divers, and they say, hey, we should actually make a camera made explicitly for diving. It should be easy to use. It should be great images. You should be able to don't do a lot of post-production of the images. You should just jump in the water. It should record your dive, and you should get up and see great footage. So so that was like the initial idea and where it started. And then Paralens did a Kickstarter project. It was actually where it started. So I think it was mid 2016 that the Kickstarter was actually funded, and there was a lot of people in that Kickstarter project. I think Paralens raised around $350,000 US, which is quite a decent amount for an underwater camera in a Kickstarter project. And then after having got the funding, they should start deliver and did a lot of A testing, and in that regard they got in some angel investments on actually getting it to be fully delivered to the people. I think the primary reason is exactly they were divers, and they wanted to they saw, okay, there might be a market for this, and the Kickstarter absolutely showed that there were people who wanted to get this diving camera.
Right. And when they set the project up, who did they consider would be the target customer? Because it's not a cheap bit of kit, and you can go underwater a lot and take images a lot cheaper. So they must have had a target diver demographic.
Yeah.
I mean, in one of my videos, when I did who should buy, I mean, for sure, technical divers are go deep, because I think the Vaquita goes to 350 meters.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
The 60 plus 250 meters. So that's just got to be the camera, because when you're a technical diver diving at those depths, you don't want to be messing around. So the auto on, take all the footage during the dive, and auto off. That'd be great. And that'll bring me into the just another question. You remember Majid from Dubai, who you kindly did respond, but I did say I'd ask you the question
Right.
On YouTube, and I'm sure he's going to look at the thing. So one of the first Vaquitas, I got one of the first ones, and another chap who's emailed me in Dubai got one. His name's Majid, and unfortunately, he was diving on the Energy Determination, a wreck that I found many years ago with my buddy John Tilley, believe it or not. And he went to 80 meters. On the way up, he found out the camera was flooded. He's got nothing but praise for Paralens, because they reacted quick. He sent it back. I think they paid for it to be sent back and got him back a new one within a week, which is exceptional. So I know he's very, very happy, but he would like to know what happened, because I think you have investigated it and you did find out the reason.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's of course really unfortunate that you that you do a product you have worked on for years, and then you send out some of the first cameras, and then the very first dive a given customer does, it floods, and of course that's really unfortunate. And we did, as you mentioned, what we do is of course send it back to us. We replace it immediately, and then we investigate every time we get in a camera. Of course, if it floods, but just in general, if it breaks down, we investigate it. And for this specific case, actually, yes, I did that, and it seems like it was quite tricky for us to figure out what was actually causing the issue for this one. But it seems like our depth sensor actually might have had an issue. And it's when you assemble the cameras, we have some O-rings connecting through to very close, small O-rings for the depth sensor, and we think it should not happen, but in some rare cases it might have when you actually put the camera together, that it might have broken this way. We took it into our pressure chamber and did the on-one test, and it seems like we had some small bubbles from that one. It's not something we have seen from anyone else, but it seems like that was the issue in this specific case. And what we do for testing of a camera, we don't take every single piece of equipment, of course, and do a full test. But what we are doing for the first batch of Makitas we are sending out is we do test if the lens is properly focused, if the Wi-Fi is working, the GPS is working, and I would say in this case it's just really unfortunate.
But again, he's quite happy. I'm very happy. Yeah. I'm glad it didn't happen to me.
Yeah.
You definitely got a blasting on my first video. Here's the footage.
That would not be good.
And a screen.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway, thank you for that, Peter. I just think that just goes to show, how committed Paralens are. Just no questions asked, camera straight back to him, and then you went and found out. So, I cut you off a little bit on that because we went off onto technical diving and spoke about that dive. But
yeah.
Who are the other target customers besides technical divers?
Yeah, but usually we are looking at when we target also on in marketing, and we in general what we do is we target 3 categories of people, and we have like the core divers, right? The technical diver who actually invest in camera and want to have that, and then we have the holiday diver, as we call, more doing dives when you are on holiday, when you do a travel to Dubai or to Thailand, and you want to do scuba diving there, and you want to invest in a good camera. And of course, the market, because it is high priced, it is people who they don't want to say I want to buy a GoPro or similar, because GoPro it's a multi-purpose, right? But if you are going, maybe you do a dive trip and you go for a specific location and do some dive, then you want to have a camera made for diving. And then we have the last part of it is what we call like the holiday snorkelers, and it's basically someone who does casual diving, not necessarily doing scuba, but actually doing snorkeling also. And it is a market where the Vaquita as a product, where you buy it for 750 euros is too expensive. But that's also why we are launching a rental concept, where we are actually giving people the opportunity to rent out the camera for
that's a first. That's definitely a first.
It is something we are working on, but it's actually something we are planning to launch here in the beginning of the year. We start by launching it in Florida, where we have a lot of dive shops who's into to rent it out. Primarily, they are selling our cameras, and then people are able to experience using our camera. And then, if they do multiple dives, then they can buy the camera.
Bold move. That's a bold move. Anyway.
Yeah, I think, to be honest, I think doing a rental part of, I think with the sensor and the entire citizen scientist and the vision we have for the company, I think it's the right path for.
Now, is the rental going to be through dive centers? Is it?
Yeah, it would be through dive centers, because we have a lot of dive centers, of course, selling our camera, and we talk with them and say, hey, what do you think about doing rental of the cameras? And everyone we talk with is like, we want that. And of course, right, it's like they're selling a product, and they are selling it because they like the product, and now we can say you can actually offer the ability for them to rent. So what we do is we provide them with a stand, and they need to plug in power to that stand, and then it's working. They don't need to do anything else. It's automatic. So we are looking forward to that launch. Absolutely. We start by launching it in Florida, and then the plan is to do also some locations in Italy and some places in Europe afterwards.
Okay. Well, let's have a look at a couple of comments. I know you should be able to see them, but Critter Hunter, why is Vaquita so expensive? Is the lanyard woven from mermaid hair?
That's a great question. No, I would say yes. Why is it so expensive? I think we are using some quite expensive material, and it is custom designed. And to be honest, when we with the aluminium casing, and it's quality. All components are quality, and the design is done in-house, and we are not producing. When we go to a factory in China, they're asking, okay, so how many millions a month are you actually planning to produce of these cameras? We say, we are not planning to produce millions. And then they say, okay, well, then we might be able to help you. But we have, because also of the size and the how many we are able to produce, then of course the pricing, we can't pressure the pricing as much as some of our competitors. So that of course also bumps up the price a bit. But in also, general it is. Sorry?
Yeah. But when you compare the Vaquita, I know Critter Hunter's going on because he's comparing it to his GoPro, but if you were actually to compare a GoPro with an aluminium, say a SOTA housing, the price isn't far off then.
No.
If you were to go for an aluminium housing, so you could go deeper than 45 meters, then the price is the same, similar as a GoPro, with maybe in a couple of instances even slightly cheaper. So There's your answer, Critter Hunter. I bought one. I know you want me to give you one, but you'll have to wait. And it doesn't come with a lanyard. I've already had a moan about what it doesn't come with on the videos, yes. As you know. So let's have a just look at Judea's Life. That's Critter Hunter's wife. She's come on. She's a big supporter of the channel. Wet Souls have said thank you for me telling you how good they are, because they are good. Rubik's Cube. She's in the Philippines. She's a vlogger. She does some nice vlogging. She does a lot of cooking and stuff. Oh, here we go. Critter Hunter again. Has anyone ever filmed? Here's the challenge coming up, right? Has anyone ever filmed a Vaquita dolphin with a Vaquita? I don't think there's enough of them out there yet to do that.
Yeah, it's a good question, actually, yeah.
Right, Critter Hunter, I challenge you to go and film a Vaquita with a Vaquita, and you can borrow my Vaquita. Or you can rent one in Florida. Wet Souls, you should set us up a challenge, Critter Hunter. Yeah, we've already said that, but not tonight. I've got one due for. I owe him one for the guitar fish. So if he sets me one, he's going to get the other one back. Bernhardine Montasel, Bernhan, as he likes to be called, he's in Libya. He's a highly experienced diving instructor. I think he's been teaching 40 years, from what I can pick up from his Facebook page. Big supporter of Paralens. When I had a little bit of a go early on my videos, he was right there in the comments supporting Paralens. We've developed quite a good relationship through YouTube now. All right, there's Critter Hunter. He's on Wet Souls. A question from Burhan. are you going to have an accessory lens to be attached to the monitor side to enlarge the view? Well, that was going to be one of my questions later. I'm glad you've mentioned it, because old guys like us, my eyesight's not so brilliant. So yeah, are we going to have like an Opti viewfinder to go on the end cap?
Yeah, it's something we have been looking into. You know, as you know, then with the way we actually do the end cap design on the Vaquita compared to DiveCam Plus, then we opens up for being able to add accessories in a different way. With where you had the DiveCam Plus, where you had the screw cap, then it was not able to put in accessories. And we have been looking at various accessories, one being, you know, basically a larger viewfinder, so you can basically plug in a module on that one. It is not something we have in the production line, but it is something we are looking into. And I can't really give an estimate or even confirm that it's something we are doing, but we are looking at various ways of improving that. Also having just basically an enlarged magnifying on the end cap. So basically just having this one a bit larger. This is for our rental where we have a different end cap, and we could do that, but it's not planned. I have to say. Okay.
Because Brock had some concerns about the end cap, which we had a chat about on YouTube. He thought it might not be secure, but I did reassure him that once it's clicked on, you can't pull it off.
And also when you got under pressure, then it's even more difficult. So it should not be a problem. It's
no. Okay, we've got another Critter Hunter. So there's more Vaquita cameras than there are Vaquita dolphins. I doubt if either of us could answer that one, Critter Hunter. That's going to be, I'll have to get back to you with the answer question. We've got Bumpin Uglies. Good morning, gentlemen and ladies. Thanks for watching, Bumpkin. Hope you've subscribed, and I hope you will like after you've seen it. Wet Souls are back in the room. He must be a mate of Justin's. Justin's, you're up there. What's up, my Critter Hunter? Right. Hey, Bump. Yeah, they're mates. This is my channel, guys. Go live, Critter Hunter. What's this? He's up again. I like to put all the comments up so nobody feels not loved, so you're all being shown up there. Right. One more question before I bring Brock in. Was the Dive Camera Plus considered a success? And are sales of the Vaquita looking better than the Dive Camera Plus? I don't want any figures because I know it's all confidential, but, are the shareholders, the investors happy with the, say, Dive Camera sales, and are they happy with the Vaquita sales and orders to date? I know the marketing campaign is very, very pushy, much more than Dive Camera Plus, because I don't think I ever got an email or saw a Facebook post or anything for Dive Camera Plus. But Marco, he's at it every 5 minutes.
Yeah. Well, yes, we are. We are pushing, putting some money in the marketing of the Vaquita, and I would say from investments, they are absolutely happy on the Dive Plus and what we have actually delivered, and absolutely also on the Vaquita. We did get, we started out by getting an angel investor, and then later on we got funded by, or got a big investment from something called Nordic Atlantic Partners, and now recently we got an investment from Catapult Ocean, which are specializing in doing investment in startups with an ocean look, and we are on target on what we are delivering and selling, both for the Vaquita and what we also did for the DiveCam Plus. So it has been a great success. Yes.
So that's good news for the company that you've actually got some serious big boy investors, but I guess it also puts a lot of pressure on to deliver.
Yeah, they would like to do. They have their yes. They're pressing as usual, right? I've been in the startup game for a long time, and of course, when you get there's nothing like free money, right? So of course, when they get in, they have some ideas of how to do it, but they are really backing up us and supporting our vision. That's the most important one for when you take in money in a company. It's really important that they are backing the vision of the company.
All right, excellent. Just before we move to Brock, this is the first business proposal I've ever had on YouTube. Burhan saying perhaps Brian and I could set up an aftermarket company to make accessories for the Vikita.
Absolutely.
Yeah, why not, Burhan? Why not? I love your style. So I'm going to bring Brock in now. Hi, Brock. I'll just introduce you to everyone. And I think your mic is muted, Brock. There we go.
Sorry about that.
All right, Brock is that side mount guy. He's got a website where he's tells us his trials and tribulations and how he handles side mount and his experiences. And again, he's a big Paralens supporter. He's written to me via the comments saying that he was good with he liked the Dive Camera Plus, and I thought it would be good to just have him come on live instead of you having to listen to me for all the questions. And he's got a couple of questions that he'd like to put to you, Peter. Sure. So Brock, take it away.
Thanks, Brian. Morning, Peter.
Morning.
So I've had my Dive Camera Plus for a couple of years now. I've really liked it a lot. For the Vikita, did Paralens have to redevelop the software, or were you able to build upon the software you had from the Dive Camera Plus?
Yeah, it's a great question, and it's we are still on the Ambarella chip, but it's a different chip, and we would have been able to use a bit of the code, but we chose not to do that, and there are some reasons for it. The primary reason is that for the Vikita we actually insourced the software development fully. Previously, it has been associated with the company actually producing our camera, but now we insourced it. And also the way it was development for Dive Camera Plus, it was really much associated with the specific chip. And what we have done with the Vikita is we have actually made a layer, and now it's a really, what I love to talk about, right? The software, what the architecture is made. So it is possible in the future to much more easily change the chip, or maybe even from away from Ambarella. If we decide to that, then it's simply easier for us. So that was like the primary reason for doing a rewrite. But of course, doing a rewrite, we have a lot of experience on making Dive Camera Plus, but of course it will introduce, because you do a rewrite, it will introduce some hills you need to tackle as well. But we decided that it was the right way to do a full rewrite.
Excellent, thank you.
Right, you got us another question, Brock, I think. No,
I did, yes. I understand the sensor on the Vikita is 7.87 millimeter. What barriers would there be preventing Paralens from developing an even further advanced camera, like a 28 millimeter sensor, like an APS-C, or 35 millimeter sensor? A bigger sensor would certainly require a larger housing, but then perhaps then you can even accommodate additional features like a changeable battery.
Right. Yeah. It's I would say one of our product designer who's actually building the camera. It is a complex product, and there's a lot of components, and it's really tight. So every time we want to take in a new component or want to switch out, it does require a little bit of puzzling to make it fit. And it is primarily because of the form factor, whereas from other cameras it's more square, and it just makes it a bit more difficult to build. I would say that would be the primary that would be the primary issue if we wanted to change the sensors and we want to exactly change the housing, make the housing bigger, and figure out where should all the components, where should those be.
Yeah, I guess when you look at the size of a housing for a full frame camera, they're certainly not small. And with the technology that Paralens has, I would be very interested to see, if you're able to take that next step down the road.
Right.
That was good. That was a good question. I mean, yeah, the technology is there, but I think the answer at the moment is no. They're just focusing on the Vaquita, trying to get that right. Yeah. But Brock, thanks for coming on.
Thanks, Brian. Thanks, Peter.
You really, added another dynamic, and I couldn't have thought of those questions, knowing about all those sensors and stuff. Blooming hell. Critter Hunter's got a couple of comments, I think, for you. Hey, side mount Trock. Hey, Brock from Mateus. Of course, Critter Hunter. Brock, you could mount cameras on your side tanks like turrets. Where does he get them? Have you been drinking? Have you been drinking all evening, Critter Hunter? All right, I'm going to say goodbye to you, Brock. Mateus may come on later. He said hello to you.
Perfect, thanks.
He might have a couple of questions. I did send him a link. I don't know if he's going to come on. I hope he does. All right, Brock, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Don't forget to press the like button. Right, where are we? Okay, let's just go through a few more comments. Oh, I've got a takeover bid now. I'll take over Brian's channel since I'd lose subscribers if you took it over, Critter Hunter. I'm not doing that. Bumpin's laughing. Another question from Burhan. When will you be up to date with your stock to meet demand without too long a wait time?
Yeah, it's also, we of course want to ensure to put out our cameras as fast as possible. We have been delayed, but we are delivering the batch 1 but batch 1 has been delivered. Batch 2 is also really ongoing, and batch 3 will soon be delivered. So we are really focusing a lot on ensuring to send out cameras. But what we actually do right now, as I mentioned previously, we are going. Every camera is actually going through our headquarters, and we actually do testing of that this time, and it just adds a couple of days to the actual delivery as well. But we want to do that to ensure the product is in the shape we want it to be.
Yeah, I think that's a very wise move. Because you don't want stuff going out direct from the factory and then being returned. Okay, right. So let's have a look. Critter Hunter's back on. If you're putting money into marketing, I'll test out a Vaquita for you. Mermaid hair. Well, I'm sure Peter will talk to Marco and get him to look at your channel. And if Marco thinks you're any good, he'll be in touch, or whoever makes that decision.
I'll do that.
Got you out of that one, but I've got one for you later, as you know. And then Critter Hunter, they want me to do the live streams for them because I've got a nice fancy background and studio. Actually, I got the studio idea from Critter Hunter. So. Right, okay. Mateus is on with a question. Are you continuing to sell the Dive Camera Plus now that the Vaquita is out? And if so, who should buy the older Dive Camera Plus, and who should go for the new Vaquita? Good question, Mateus.
Yeah, it is a good question, and actually we are not as it now. We're not planning to make any more Dive Camera Plus. We had some stocks, and we have a little bit, but it's more for replacement. So we're not, as of now, we're not planning to do a new batch of the Dive Camera Plus. We are focusing fully on the Vaquita and what will come after the Vaquita.
No, right, there we are. Okay, Bumpkin's on. I think this is a Trump question. Any thoughts on recent developments in censorship, Peter? And he goes on to say, sorry, I had to go there. Feel free to disregard comment, open discourse. Look, it's for America, right? We're European. Yes, I'm British and I still consider myself European. And yes, I did vote for Brexit, but I'm still European and a proud supporter of the European concept. America, it's your country. Do what you like with it, right?
Yeah.
And Critter Hunter's on. Peter, do you like being put on the spot? Brian makes me nervous.
I think you're a nice guy, Brian.
I could get someone to help me, like Tim Sebastian from the BBC or somebody, or another one. What's it? Hey, Critter Hunter. Hi, Matthias. That's Brock. Yeah, hi, Brock. Okay, all buddies together. That's cool. Right, next question. The EIS, or Electronic Image Stabilization, to give it his long name. When are we going to get it? It's supposed to be from day one. You know that.
Yeah. I know that, Brian, and you know what? When you do software development, sometimes it takes a bit longer than expected, and what we knew we had a really great camera, and we made a decision saying let's actually get the kit out on the hands of people before having a full promised feature set in the firmware and in software. And one of those big features is, of course, the image stabilization. Another one is the overlay, and I would say we are working as fast as possible to get it out there. As an example, the overlay functionality, a lot of people use that in the Dive Crown Plus, and we launched the Vikita without it. But we are doing the final testing of the overlay.
Can you explain what the overlay system is?
Yeah, the overlay is basically that you are able to have in Dive Crown Plus, you were able to have the temperature and depth encoded in your picture. Yeah. So when you actually had recorded and you wanted to share it, usually when you just took a video and you shared it on social media or anywhere, it already had a watermark with the temperature and depth.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And a lot of Dive Crown Plus users like that feature. Of course, it could be turned off, but they like the ability for it. And we wanted to have that in the kit as well. And there was also a lot of people are requesting, and that is something we are launching. Hopefully, maybe not this week, but then next week. So it's really coming. And with the image stabilization, the same is we had some issues getting it to work properly, and we wanted to launch an image stabilization which were very good. I would say I'm confident we are going to release it within a month. Around that's the point, but I don't have. It's not like we are doing the testing of the image stabilization where we are confident this is the greatest image stabilization we have, and we want to take it up a notch. And I'm confident we are going to release it within a month or two. That's absolutely certain. And of course, I get the frustration. We have some customers who say, why are you actually launching a product where you don't have the functionality? And we are working extremely hard on getting that specific feature done.
Yeah, if I do have a criticism of the launch of the Vikita, what I think, and I've been dealing with Adriana, as you know, she's fantastic whenever you contact her. I think it would be useful if, say, every month or twice a month, that you actually just send out a little newsletter to say what's going on. So otherwise people guess, and then they feel, they get disappointed. But if they know, if it's been explained to them, most people are reasonable, particularly those who can afford 750 euros for a camera. And they say, fine, yeah, it's just come in. I haven't got to. For me, I mean, it would destroy my YouTube channel, of course, if you did that.
No, but I agree. Being absolutely transparent and upfront about it is something we're working on.
Yeah. So I think Marco's really good at getting the message out to buy it. I think you should just direct him a little bit, just to do a few updates, and then people who have bought it can then talk to people who are thinking about it and say, "Oh, this is good. This is coming. This is coming." It would help your sales, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Okay. I might have to give an apology to Bump in here. I just assumed it was all about the censorship of Mr. Trump from Twitter and all of that. If it wasn't, I'm sorry. That's what all politicians say nowadays, right? I'll get a Vikita as soon as Matthias gives it a thumbs up, although he might mount a 3-foot macro lens to it, but still. Brock's on. Again, some of my smoothest video I've captured my disc was when holding it in my hand. Aside from the pistol grip, are there any plans to make a Goodman type mount? I'm just going to bring Brock in so he can explain what a Goodman type mount is. Brock, I'm going to bring you in.
Good.
Right, you're on. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, Peter. Yeah, so I've had the Paralens mounted on my full face mask before, and I found that the footage was always unstable because I just looked around too much. Some of the smoothest video I had was actually when I switched over to holding it just in my hand. I know that you're coming out with the pistol grip, but are there any plans to come out with a Goodman handle, similar to what we would see on a torch? Something that sits in your hand or on the back of your hand.
Yeah, actually, I think we had at some point we had a we had some renderings on it, look at it, but it's not something we are at the moment planning on. We are planning, as you mentioned, we are planning on the pistol grip or the handle. I have it here, this one, right? We are that one we are going to launch very soon. It's planned for February. It might change, but that was the last thing I heard about it. So it's really soon. And of course, we always want to hear opinions from our customers. So absolutely. Now I've heard it from you, and I want to take that feedback to in-house and say, hey, is that something we can look into? Absolutely.
Excellent.
Brock,
thank you.
Brock, there is an aftermarket type, and I can't remember who made it. My really good dive buddy Stevie gave it me as a present to mount my torch. It was a soft Goodman type grip, as you call it. What I will do, I can't remember who made it. I will play with it and see if the Fakita fits in it nicely, and if I can put a little lanyard to go over my wrist in case it falls out. And then I'll put it on one of my videos and let you know. But I think there is from an American supplier, an aftermarket torch type grip. It's a soft grip, which might do the trick. And then Burhan and me will copy it and upload it for sale.
Perfect. Yeah, and I think the challenge with that too is developing if there was a Goodman grip, is people who dive in a wetsuit versus people in dry suit, because it obviously has to be high enough to get above the collar on your dry suit if you're using dry gloves as well.
Yeah, well, this fitted across there, and it was. It took me a while to get used to it. I prefer the solid one, but Stevie and his partner Diane, they swear by them, and eventually I got used to it. It's got to come back here. It might just fit on. The last time I dived in a dry suit was 1987, man. So. And it was a Viking one from Norway, Scandinavian. All right, Brock, I'll take you out. Just put some comments up if you want to come back in. Because Peter gets his head chopped off by my
Thanks, Brian.
Tech4 Live logo up there.
Oh, logo. Yeah.
Right. Okay. I've made peace with Bumping. All right, buddy. Okay. Good. Cool. Mateus is back. With one suggestion: if you are including the overlay on the new Fakita, please don't burn the information into the images like on the Dive Camera Plus. It makes images unusable IMO.
Yeah, let me point on that, because it's for the dive for the Fakita. For the Dive Camera Plus. It was possible to have the overlay burn it into the image, but you could also have it as SRT files, right? So actually title files you could have associated with the video. And for the overlay in the Kita, the reason we want to burn it into the video is basically to have it hassle-free for the user. So like we do for the DCC, we want, if people want to have the overlay, we want them to basically just take out the video or the JPEG, the photo, and just be able to send it to someone and have it embedded with the information we have chosen, or people have chosen in the overlay. So that is the reason. But for sure, when we launch it, the overlay in Vikita, it will be possible to disable it, and also having the SRT file, so you can have it separate.
So that's a simple solution. Buy two. Dive with one with the overlay on and one with the overlay off.
That's a great solution, actually. I like that.
There's Critter Hunter again. He likes your sweater. Very Danish. Too hot here, though. Sadly, I'd rock those.
I would say I actually had a different sweater on, but I took this one on because it was, really cold here in my home office, so I had to.
Well, that's actually more like a Scottish Arran sweater. Two Scandinavians usually have all those nice patterns on them.
Yeah,
I've got a fantastic sweater. It cost me a fortune in Norway, but I love it to bits, and it's actually windproof. It's got a windproof lining.
Nice.
Now, this is why I like doing live streams, because you get the questions up and you get questions that you should have thought of and you didn't think of. And then someone like Michael Engel, who's just come on, puts it to you. Do you have a policy regarding battery replacement on the Vikita, considering both warranty and customer paid scenarios? So what I think is asking is the battery covered under warranty? And then if it's out of warranty, how do we replace the built-in battery?
Yeah, we can replace the built-in battery, but it is covered in the warranty. And to be honest, I'm not into the details of that one. We have a policy of being really, I would say, being really fair for usage. Of course, if the battery breaks down after a year, right? Of course there are some issues we need to look into and doing replacement. But I can't get into details on this because, to be honest, I really don't know about it. I would have to check up on it to figure out what is the specific policy for that one.
I think that'd be a good thing to put on the website, the actual battery policy, because I've got a friend here, a tech diver, who's not interested in the Vikita because his dive camera plus battery failed and he couldn't get a replacement or something. Yeah. And I have said I'll try and take it up with someone, and I haven't. I've failed on that. So Simon, if you're watching, I will get on to that. But how long is the battery expected to last then?
It's I don't know the specific ones for how many years it's expected to last.
All right. So what would, if you could get back to me from the hardware?
I'll do that. Absolutely. I'll make sure.
I'll put it on one of my future videos, and because it is quite an important question. And again, I mean, say if after 3 years I needed a new battery, I wouldn't want to buy a new camera. I would want to be able to change not personally, be able to get the battery changed. So it is a good point. And a few dive computer companies have suffered because of bad battery replacement policies. So it is a hot topic in the industry.
It's a good point. I have noted it. Absolutely.
Okay, Matthias again. I don't know why he didn't click on the live stream. He's got good questions. He agrees with Brock. Best way to hold the Dive Camera Plus is in your hand. I think he means just like a dive light. And Burhan's back on. The only videos I've seen from Paralens so far are the marketing videos. Will there be videos coming out that help users learn how to use the camera, its features, and does a better job than the manual does? And that leads into my next question, so you can answer both together. Is the instruction manual going to be updated / improved, and when? If yes, when? And the reason I'm asking that is, for example, I was doing my clear water comparison video in an aquarium because we don't get clear water, and I had to do this Critter Hunter challenge for the guitar fish. I'd got them in the wild through my friend Simon, but I hadn't shot them myself, so I had the in the wild footage, but I couldn't just cheat and put that up. And we had to color correct. And I like the DCC. And then Lamberto, who works for you, great guy, very responsive, puts a lot of comments on the channels, did say that in artificial light, you have to turn the DCC off, and quite logically, because it behaves like you're using a flash or video lights. Now, everyone thinks I'm an expert. I'm not. If people read the description of my GoPro and Paralens journey, I'm a rank amateur. I'd never taken any video underwater until about last April or May. But I do read manuals. I'm 62. I'm an engineer. So you give me a manual, and I would have picked it up. So yeah, there's the manual was late going up, but I mean, please say it's going to be improved, because it's not really worth anything at the moment.
Right. Yeah, and that's, of course, we want to improve the manuals, and as you mentioned, initially when we actually launched when we sent out the first batch of Vaquitas, then we were actually not we did not have the initial instruction manual up to speed, and we have that now. So we have made an improvement in the manual, and also got it translated to multiple languages. It was only in English initially, and this is a live document, right? It's something we want to improve, and we want to put in whatever must be of ask questions, so we can actually put that into it. So everyone having any questions we don't have in the manual, let us know through the support, and we gather that, and then we update the document, because that's obvious. We want to ensure that people are actually able to read the manual, and we also we put it into, of course, the website and also in the app now, so people are able to.
That's quite a good call to action, really, and I've been as guilty as anyone else. Is that if you do have a suggestion to improve the manual, for example, well, I've told Lamberto, but I haven't said upgrade the manual. We should email in on every one of my GoPro and Paralens journey videos. My email is there, so if you want to send it to me, I'll send it on, or you can send it direct to support. If you send it to me, I'll get you an answer from Paralens, because I'll bug it.
Yeah.
But I think, yeah, us as users, especially the batch 1 users, can be helping improve the instructions, because we're going to be finding out things as we use the camera.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got the Style Council. Bumpin likes your jumper as well. He was thinking the same thing as Critter Hunter. He's just stopping into those between ski lifts. Always classy. I don't think Denmark's not really a ski destination, is it?
No, it's actually not. We are, we basically have no hills. I think the biggest hill is like 200 meters or something like that. So nothing.
So it's cross-country skiing.
Yeah, exactly. But we go for Sweden, Norway, or of course down right to French. Yeah. I'm missing my ski trip, right? But with COVID, I can't do that.
Yeah,
absolutely not.
And Critter has come back. Danes are classy buggers. Bumping. I bet his sweatsuit has the same pattern. I love Critter. At least it adds a bit of lightness to the live streams, and he's got a laugh from Bumping. Been on again. Great question. Mateus is right. Brock, I'm bringing you in again. You can ask this and have a chat with Peter about it.
Hey, Brian, Peter.
Hey.
Yeah, the problem I've had with the overlay is I love the information, but when the footage is unstable and you want to smooth it out, the burn in actually ends up moving around the screen like a fly. So you end up having to crop the image to crop out the overlay. So yes, having the information separately would be great.
Yeah, but that is absolutely something we we have when we do a dive, we are generating this log file. You probably also have seen when you look at the SD card, and it contains the information about the time, the temperature, and all the information our sensors are registering, and also for the burn-in, we are doing the separate file, so we could do post-processing afterwards if needed.
Excellent. I look forward to that. Thank you.
All right, so I'll take you out again, Brock. Okay, Wet Souls on, I think, with another good question. Maybe I missed it, but will you further optimize the color correction to, and with the soon to be released stabilization update?
Yeah, it's It's the color correction. When we had the Dive Camera Plus, we had, as people from Dive Camera Plus or Dive Camera Plus users know, that you switch it into if you were in blue water and green water, and based on that, we basically had a lookup table, so we could see for every centimeter we could actually see how should we adjust the image, and we did that by having some lookup table we have built over time with a lot of test dives. And for the Vaquita, we changed that. So now we have what we called auto DCC. So people don't even need to change between what water it is. We basically evaluate every second. We evaluate the image and do the correction based on that. And of course, we want to improve on that. What we are doing to improve the DCC is we have some color corrected plates we actually send out various to testers around the world, and then they're actually doing a raw picture, and then we get that back and actually adjust our color correction. We want to do that continuously, because you can dive in the clear, nice blue water, but also of course muddy water, and we really want to have an auto DCC which works for every kind of water, and we are constantly improving that. Absolutely.
Right, good. We've got a question from Mark Winner, Blue Horizon diver, who's heavily involved with the Dive Camera Plus. I've just sent you a link. So we'll wait a few minutes. If you can click on the link, we'll have you live on the program, as long as you're decent and not dressed in your pajamas or whatever. Right, let's talk about the app. This is going to be a good one. The app, even some of Paralens staff don't like it, and I know that because they've told me. Yeah, are you going to redesign it or just tweak the existing app? Yeah, when are we going to get a user-friendly, workable app? But before you answer, I do have to say, and I've got a video coming out, I was trying to get it out today, on the latest firmware upgrade, it wouldn't do it through the computer with the SD card, whereas the previous one was a dream and it wouldn't work from the app. So begrudgingly, I went onto the app and it updated the firmware like a dream. So upgrading firmware is fixed, that's for sure. But we need a better app. What's the plan?
Yeah, but it's a good question. I would say we are constantly working on improving the app, absolutely. And I would say sometimes in software development, you dream about how you want it to be, and then time hits you, and you do some jumps where you need to say, okay, I'm coming back to actually improving on specific areas on the app. And to give an example, what we had in the Dive Camera Plus, the app and the communication we did between the Dive Camera Plus camera and the app, it was a proprietary communication protocol where users had to connect, start a Wi-Fi hotspot on the camera, and then go to their phone, change the Wi-Fi, and connect to the camera. And it's not a great experience. And one of the first thing we said we wanted to do with the app in Vaquita were to say, we don't want users to need to go to their Wi-Fi setting and start up a Wi-Fi hotspot on the camera. We want to do that automatically, and we started doing that. And it's because of various issues in software development. It just happens. Then at some point we said, okay, we are actually in a situation where we can't fully make that glorified, that really nice way of communicating with the camera as we want. But what we know we can do is the same as Dive Camera Plus. And that's what we have launched with. But absolutely, we are focusing a lot on getting the communication to be much more smooth. And just to lift a little bit on how it will basically work, is we have a Bluetooth communication in the camera. So what we want to do, and or what was our original idea, is to have the camera automatically start up the Wi-Fi hotspot once it's needed, and then do the transfer. So we don't even need to do Wi-Fi transfer if you do small thumbnails, because there's no reason in it. It's only if you want to get a lot of footage downloaded. So we can do that behind the scenes, so users don't need to do that. And then a second one is, when you record footage from the camera, you can get several hundred megabytes of data, right? Sometimes gigabytes also, and transferring that from a camera to a phone, in general, that is just a tough way to get the full footage. What is possible, and what a lot of other competitors are doing, is that they're basically taking a part of the dive, and what we are currently doing is we are giving the users the opportunity to do the full dive, or what we call the low-res version of it. And downloading the low-res version works quite okay, but it's when you start to have the bigger files, it's a problem. And that's also why we launched the web uploader, the desktop uploader.
I just noticed that recently, but I haven't tried it yet.
No, and the reason we launched that is because we want people to...
Can you explain a bit about that in detail, because it is a fairly new feature, right?
It is new. It is actually something we launched between New Year, Christmas, and New Year, I believe. And so it's really new. And that is that the people are able to either take out the SD card or just hook in the camera to their computer, and then enter a desktop and use the transfer speed from an SD card to your computer is extremely fast, as we know. So when you do it through a web uploader, then the limit in performance is only your internet speed, and what we have of problem when we actually transfer from the dive camera from the camera to the app is the Wi-Fi antenna in the camera, which is not a very strong antenna, but it's absolutely good enough, but it's not as strong. So when you want to upload 1 gigabyte of data, it just takes a lot of time. So what the cloud uploader actually does is that you choose to upload all your dive or the selected dives on the SD card, and then you will access it from the app, and then the app will simply stream it from the backup we have in the Paralens cloud.
Then how do you access that footage then?
You access it by streaming it. So if you want to stream it, if you want to have it on your own phone after having it too, then you can we call it restore a dive. So you basically download it to your phone, but then you download the phone, or you download the footage from the cloud to your phone. Okay. So you don't need to be too close to the Dive Camera Plus and Vaquita.
Yeah, I think it would be good to get instructions up on the website, like there is for upgrading the firmware and everything.
Yeah, we added a section in the app, so when you tap on the camera tab, it will ask you. It generates a personal upload code, so it's private for your account, yeah. And then you can share that link to your email.
Yeah, what I'm talking about is actually having instructions on the web page. So, or is it intuitive?
Right. Yes, yeah, we are improving on the web already. It's just recently been released, but we are improving on that. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, Mark, he either didn't get my email with the link, or he's completely naked or something, or he's not next to his laptop. He's operating off his phone, but he could come on via his phone. He's got a question. Maybe you missed it, but his new tools and replacement part kits coming out for them, I think, for Dive Camera Plus, because the ring has jammed again on his Dive Camera Plus. I know he uses a Dive Camera Plus.
I would say he should absolutely get in contact with support, and I'm pretty sure we will be able to help him one way or the other.
Yeah, I think Mark. This is a instructor called Mark Wynn. He's based in Bermuda, He's originally from Scotland. He's done a Scuba Tuber Live interview. Lovely guy, and I think he was one of the testers of the Dive Camera Plus. So Mark, if you're still online, Paralens will help you out. There's Brock saying hi to Mark, and back. Oh, there's Critter Hunter. Mark's had a Critter Hunter challenge for a snake eel. And everyone's using lockdown. C-spot, okay. There they're going. Yeah, where's the Critter Hunter? Where's the octopus? All right, he's found a bobtail squid. No, that doesn't. That's hell no. Probably taste. Yeah, we've got to be careful with Critter Hunter's wife because she'll eat anything that comes out of the sea. And Mark's seen Brock for the first time. So what have we got here? Yeah, he's a handsome bastard as well. Peter, did you draw the straw in the company when they were choosing who had to go on Brian's channel? You deserve a beer. Actually, Peter wrote to me based on some of the stuff, I'd even forget what it was, on the videos. And then I quite cheekily asked him if he'd do a live stream. And yeah, he agreed to. But I do owe him a beer, that's for sure.
I'll take you up on that when I get to buy next time.
Yeah, you can come out with my Danish girlfriend. Very informative. Matthias has got to go. Thanks for watching, Matthias. Have fun, Lebo from Critter Hunter. Okay. Mark can't get on. He's at work. He's like me. He works for a living. And Nicolaj Betch Anderson likes the app. Good. I'm glad someone. He's probably young. He's probably less than 30 years old. Blue eyes. Sorry, Brian. That's all right. No problem, man. Wet Souls. Thanks, Peter. Seems that the Ambarella processor allows a lot of flexibility. That's kind of what you said earlier, was it?
Yeah, well, it does, and I think the question, I don't know if the question, that specific one is, the architecture we are doing for the Kita is the chip, the Ambarella chip has a lot of different chips, and what we want to do and what we did with the Kita is that we want to make it easier for ourselves to actually change the chip, either the entire Ambarella or just from one Ambarella chip to a different Ambarella chip.
All right, and this is Lamberto from Paralens, right? Yesterday I uploaded 26 gigabyte on the app. Takes a while on Wi-Fi, but I used the new web uploader and I was done in 3 hours. That doesn't sound great to me. I think it'd be faster just transferring it from the SD card. I'm not sure, but I've never had any problem transferring large amounts from the SD card. But I do have another question, and this is going to put you on the spot a bit, Peter. Everything says you must use a SanDisk SD card of a certain grade. I get the grade, but why are we limited to SanDisk? I am going to challenge that through doing some tests and put them up. And also, it's limited at 128 GB.
Yeah, but we are there are various reasons for saying we want to use a SanDisk, or it should be a SanDisk and it should be a specific size, and it's basically for the quality of it. We know there are so many different SD cards, but you should absolutely challenge on it, because we have done challenges on it ourselves, and also the limit on the 120 gigabytes we have tried much higher than that, and it is it's not an official announcement, but absolutely it is possible. And the reason is we want to ensure the quality, so people are not saying, hey, I bought this SD card, it's 512 gigabytes and it only costs $10. Why don't you want to support that, right? So that is the reason for it. It's the quality changes a lot on the SD card you can buy online and everywhere.
Yeah, no. I mean, you've got to buy a reputable card. Anyway, sometime in the next month I will have that up. I'm just trying to beg, steal, and borrow different SD cards from people because I've got more than enough.
Absolutely, that's great. You are welcome to test it out.
Yeah. Critter Hunter. Now he's making it real. I don't need no app. Give me awesome video quality, super long battery, white balance presets, and epic stabilization, and I'm a happy boy. And that kind of sums it up for a scuba tuber, because we'll operate off the SD cards, and then we've got to edit the videos and that. So he's talking as a professional user, and the apps, I guess, is more for the recreational type holiday diver we were talking about earlier. So yeah. Bumpin, thanks. It's interesting because of Peter's candidness and honesty in answering all the questions. I'm just
and much better, I guess.
Yeah. Mark, he's just coming on. He's at work, so he's probably using his phone. Originally Paralens, as Andrea fixed before. Didn't really understand that. Original one broke, 5 of them. Thought Andrea must be hating me. That when he was a tester. That's the whole point of being a tester, Mark. You're supposed to break them. What happens if your app were to be taken off the App Store without notice? Would you consider other ways of accessing your superior tech? Highly unlikely, but what would happen if say Apple or Google made some demands that weren't, say they said, right, you've got to pay 5 times the amount to host it? What would your contingency be? Good question, Bumpin.
Yeah, it's a great question. I would say the Vikita and our DiveGram, it does not need the app to function, right? So you can record videos and you can get the videos, so it's not locked down through an app. What of course we launch is that you have a backup functionality, and that backup functionality where you can actually back up your dive and you can stream it without having it on your phone. That functionality is hooked up currently to the app, so you would lose that ability to stream that. We have been considering and thinking about launching a community web-based, but it's not something we are actively working.
Big job. You've got to sell a few million Vikitas to fund that.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to skip through a couple of the comments because the boys are going back and forwards, but Critter Hunter said it was a Carlsberg Pilsner, poor guy. Bumpkin is up to it, said, no, I owe you a case of beer. And it better be cold. Well, this time of year in Denmark, it'll definitely be cold. They're all having a good laugh at your and mine expense. Bumpkin's enjoying the show. I hope you've subscribed. And Mark's on. Just a shout out to Andrea for being a great customer service. It's always nice to get compliments. And again, that has been the experience with Paralens. Paralens and I got off to a bumpy start because of delivery. I've got this YouTube series, GoPro and Paralens journey, and for the first 3, I still no Paralens. But I tell you, since I've had the camera, and from people I spoke to, like Majid, the service has been spectacular. So I wonder if I can get my logo on a sweater like that. Send me the sweater, Critter Hunter. I'll do it. We've got a little sports store. You've got shirts from me that were embroidered, right? Hi, Benny, or Vin. I'm going to try and pronounce this. Vincentius. Yeah, I think I've got that right. Okay. Candid. That's the word I was looking for. Yes, Lamberto. I think he does mean Andriana. Probably very similar. Okay, let's get back to the questions. I think we're up to date on all the comments. Right, 2 accessories. We've spoke about them earlier. When Brock was mentioning about the Goodman style mount. I know you did answer this, but I've forgotten the answer, so I'm going to ask the question again. The 2 accessories, which are the macro lens, the flip-up macro lens, and I call it wide lens adapter, because I understand with the same device you can put on and in on wide-angle lens, and you've got the pistol grip. I understand it's all being tested at the moment. When will they be available for sale?
Yeah, it will be available for sale. The grip will be available already from next month, and the lens should be also in Q1, maybe start Q2, but March, April. That is the plan as it is now. But I'm not, I don't want to promise it, but it is what we're aiming for, right? We are doing the boxing, we have done the testing of it, and we really want to get it out in the hands of people as soon as possible. So so it's like it's not it's not a year, it's not a half year. It's.
I think the macro. I think it'd be more like a close-up lens than the macro lens, but I'm really looking forward to that because I do. I'm a member of the Sea House Trust, and and before I joined the Sea House Trust and knew anything about sea houses, I went out. The dive guide showed me some, and I absolutely zapped them with artificial light, which is a big no-no. We've corrected that now on my site, and I'm an avid Seahorse Trust fan now, as I say, a member, and I would encourage anyone. They've only got about 250 members. It doesn't cost very much. I think it's £25 a year. So help them out by joining. But where I think the Vaquita will really come into its own is actually in filming seahorses, because of the dynamic color correction, and it can take the best out of the ambient light. So anyone who's interested in seahorses, the close-up stroke macro lens with the Vaquita, you heard it here first. €750 plus whatever they decide to charge for the lens. Right, I'm going to put you on the spot. I'm going to ask you, would you be willing to, would Paralens be willing to donate a Vaquita to the Seahorse Trust? What I will do with them is actually take seahorse footage, produce videos, and plug the Vaquita in that as they produce stuff.
I think it's we are always wanting to get our product used in specific interesting ways. So I think I can't promise you get one, but absolutely I will set you in contact with our girl in charge of that, and then let's see what we can do. I'm pretty sure we can figure something out. Absolutely.
The guy who runs it, Neil Maidment Garrick, has kind of devoted the last several, I think 2016, just to do it. When I've done a live stream with him, unfortunately it didn't go well, so we've done it on Zoom and we're going to edit it and it'll be posted up soon. And he was telling me the other day he works for £4.10 an hour, which is half of the UK minimum wage, and it would be really big help to them. And he has 3,000 followers on Facebook, so I'd make sure my commitment to Paralens would be to make sure you get the publicity, and I'd be doing update videos.
But absolutely, I'll make sure to set you up with the contact.
Right.
Absolutely.
Okay. What other improvements, accessories are coming in the future? We've touched on it a bit. Particularly, I think you now know that several people want that end cap to give a bigger screen image. I think that is something that you really need to take back to be done pretty quick. Because I was talking to Lamberto, and with the new macro lens, I thought, great, I've just received my new prescription mask because my eyesight sucks. And he said that probably won't do it on the macro close-up lens, Brian. So I went, but he was talking, there might be a distance stick or something to help with making sure the images are sharp and in focus. So I think that a bigger viewfinder will help people. So I know it's not on the cards at the moment. You mentioned that earlier, but I think it's definitely should move up the development list a bit.
Yeah, but it's good. I think the general vision for both DiveGram Plus and also the Vaquita is that you use it by holding it in your hand. Of course, now we're doing the grip, but it's still that you should just point and aim. So you don't necessarily need to use it as you do with a regular camera, and that is why we are from the get-go, at least, saying that the viewfinder it's great, but once you're underwater and you do your footage, then it should be a matter of not looking at it as much. So that's why we haven't not had it as a huge priority initially.
I've got that. I completely understand that.
Yeah.
And for the the snorkeling market, recreational, just going to the Red Sea, But once you start asking, people buy a close-up stroke macro lens, they're then going to frame it, right?
Right.
I don't think it would be as big a priority if you weren't launching the macro close-up lens. So I think it needs to go up a bit. Burhan mentioned it earlier, because and I have been a little bit critical when I've tried to, you see a scorpion fish or something, and you can't get it fully in focus. I think I will now with my prescription lens, because I'll squint and just get it. But I'm talking when you're taking smaller stuff. And I think Lamberto's been on, and he's just said the macro I tested was 10 to 11 centimeters focus distance. I didn't try the Enon. Anyway, that's enough on that. I want to get something I really want to understand. And again, it was a big driver for me buying a Vaquita, is the concept of citizen scientist, right? But I still don't really know. I mean, I always come back to Marco, and he gets it out there, right? With these males. But I really don't understand how it really works. So can you let us know where the program is at? Who's participating, what's being done with the data, and what the future plans are? Because I think it's a fantastic concept.
Yeah, and actually, I'd love to talk about that, because it is also one of the things when I joined the company, the vision of being, a citizen scientist and being able to go dive and record some data you can actually share for ocean preservation. And what we are doing now is with the Vaquita, where we have the GPS as one of the primary sensors we need to actually make the data valid. We are gathering the information for the dive, where we have, of course, the depth and temperature, and then the conductivity, so we can actually have the all the sensors tracked. That step one in our journey for having this vision come out is to ensure that we have the infrastructure to be able to easily collect the data and store the data, so we can actually transfer that information to our partners, and we are at that stage now. So we have used the last year and a half to actually build an infrastructure, so allowing us to get the information, preparing for the launch of the Vaquita, and also for the rental. When we launch the rental, we will get a lot of dive information. We want to share that. So step one is to get that information. Then step two is actually to find out which specific partners are we wanting to go with. We have a lot of talk with NOAA and Coral Reef Foundation, Save the Mat, Necton, Project Baseline. We have a lot of various organizations we are working in currently. And what we are trying to figure out with each of these is, how can we actually take some of the information we have and make it available for them. We are in the step where we are figuring that out, and the next step after figuring out, okay, we are going to go with these projects and these organizations, is to actually ask our users permission for using the data. And it's not, we want to do more than just ask the user, hey, could we, is it okay that we share the depth of all your dives for one of the temperature, or whatever it must be, or the footage, of course, also. But we want to see if we can make it more like a collaboration, so we can have the partners actually put in specific projects. So if they have, some of our partners, if they have specific projects or specific data they want to have divers share, then they can actually publish that on our platform, and people will be able to opt in and say, yes, I want to use, when I go dive, I want to share my data, and then also get the feedback afterwards. So when I do share, and that's what we have heard from some of the user groups we're doing, is they think as you, that the entire citizen science idea is great, but they also want to see, okay, but how is it actually being used, the data, right? What projects are using it, and why is it using it, and how does it go after a month or a year or 2 years? And that's something we are currently building and investigating and figuring out how can we solve that. So we are.
So really, to summarize, it's an immense project. It
is something we have been working on for quite some time, and have a lot of talks with various partners about how should we actually launch it.
When do you think, and if you said it's in a year's time, I think that's early. When do you think there'll actually be data going to institutions and being used, and you feeding back to others, the citizen scientists?
We have been working on the entire backend and infrastructure for the last 1.5 years, something like that. So, but we are in the stages now where we are gathering a lot of information. We can actually start sharing that. So it will be within half a year where we are in. I'm aiming for before summer, around that time, that we can actually have announced some big partnerships where we are actually saying, hey, we are actually using your data, if you agree on it, to share to these organizations.
And again, I come back to my earlier comments. The communication needs to improve. The people who've got. I mean, you're great, Marco. Everyone knows it's for sale. We know the price, and we know batch 3 is out. Right? We can. But I think the marketing department needs to get hold of all this stuff, because this gives you long-term custom, especially and everyone's interested in the planet now. From a 6-year-old, or from a kid who can just walk and talk is learning about, to someone my age, 62. I saw something the other day about Greta Thunberg and is it David Attenborough? The age gap is huge, but they're both saying the same things. So the story needs to get out there. I think Paralens will have a huge increase in sales of the Fakita once people understand the power of the data being generated and what good it can do. Anyway, that's my little rant. Let's have a look at a few more comments. Vincencio, so he's on from Indonesia. Thank you. It's late for you. It must be past 10 o'clock or 2200 hours. All right. I don't know. Critter Hunter and Bumpin are going on about new Critter merch. There's a little plug for Critter Hunter because he's been COVID locked the whole year. He's got his YouTube channel off the ground, and he's got some amazing merch on Teespring. You see his comments online. He applies the same creativity to his merch, and it would really be helpful for him if people would support him. Go to his channel. It's called Critter Hunter. It's an amazing channel, especially what I call the classic Critter Hunter videos that he does. And he's got an amazing style of narration, far better than I can manage. But please support him. He's a young lad making his way in the YouTube and underwater videography world. So if you just buy a T-shirt or something, it would really help him out. Critter Hunter's on with another. He does come through with some serious comments every now and again. Brian, you need a Bluetooth thing where the image from the camera is transmitted to your mask right in front of your eyes. I think he has been drinking. I think he's on the Filipino brandy by now. Lamberto's back on. The depth of focus on macro is very little without autofocus. The practical way, and we've discussed this, and you're probably right. Let's see. And I did mention this on my video. I'm looking forward to using the wide angle, because if you can focus close up, somewhere like the Maldives, for example, where the sharks come in very close, that is going to be an amazing accessory. Wet soles have got to go. Okay, thanks. Hope you can pick the rest of it up tomorrow when it's uploaded. And Critter Hunter's saying goodbye. So we're nearly finished, folks. Stay tuned. If you've not hit the subscribe button, I'm a Scuba Tuber YouTuber. We live by the subscribers. I'm on 700 or 701 as today. I'm desperate to get to 1,000 by Easter. So please tell your friends. I want everyone at Paralens tomorrow subscribers. I see another 25 subscribers. Right, we're on to the last three questions. Again, in the marketing stuff that comes out, I think it's 200 testers in 36 countries. How many are actually testers are there, and are they paid to test the products, or do they get a free camera, or how are they reimbursed, or just do they do it like me out of the goodness of my own heart?
Yeah. For Dive Camera Plus, we had a lot of testers, and we had a specific alpha program where we sent out cameras where it was not ready, and we got feedback from users. So I think the 250 you're mentioning, that was from the Dive Camera Plus, and we limited that set a lot for the Vaquita, and we did that primarily because we did not get 250 unique reviews or feedback from feedback from these users. So instead, what we focused on is that the Dive Camera Plus users and some of the other users, where we are getting a lot of really great feedback, really constructive criticism, and in just doing a lot of testing. We focused on that. And for the Vaquita one, we had all around the world, we have around 20-25 people. And what we did with those is, yes, they were able to get a Vaquita camera. We don't pay them for it, but they are getting some gear in general.
Payment in kind, we call it.
Yeah, and that is, it seemed like, of course, we're sending out information. Initially, we sent it out where the software were basically that you could jump in and press one button and it would do some recordings, and we used a lot of that footage on the for building our Auto DCC. So we they know that they're getting a product before people, and absolutely they have been extremely helpful for the test. And what we want to do is when we select the testers, is we ensure that they are in various areas of the world, so we can get the different kind of water types we have.
All right. Okay. Yeah, that's answered that. So you've got around 25 testers selected around the world on different water types. But is there any other criteria? Are you looking mainly for sort of like people like Mateus, who are professional people, or how do you select the actual tester?
We want to have testers who's using who's doing a lot of diving and doing to of course various depth, and also in various conditions. So of course people who want to test should also contact us, and we are constantly evaluating on. Yeah, no, we should, because what we want to do, of course, we want
your email address.
No, but it's just we really want, of course, people should say, okay, I'm testing it, and the reason I want to test it is because I'm doing this and this and this. What we expect from people, of course, when we do is that we expect they actually use the time, of course, on giving us the feedback.
And I think that will be a problem. People, I'll get a free camera, and then where's the feedback? I'm too busy. Yeah,
that was what we saw at least with the Dive Camera Plus initially, right? We had a lot of testers, and of course a lot of those were bringing in great feedback, but also we had someone where we did not get a lot of feedback, and that's what why we limited the number of testers for the Vaquita.
Yeah, I think that's very wise to use a select group who are going to feedback. So we'll just go through some more comments before I give you the last question. Apparently, Critter Hunter's a big San Miguel. That's the Philippines national beer. But he must be on the brandy by now. And he only drinks San Miguel because he can't find Guinness. Bumpin's thanking us. Have a good laugh at the Guinness. I don't know. I dive regularly in the Philippines. I don't think I've seen Guinness even in Manila. And Crit Hunter, when I come, I'll bring you a 6-pack. Don't worry, we can get Guinness here. And Bumpkin's going to bring him some as well. He's picked up. Yeah, I'm in the Philippines. There he goes. He's making the plug for his tester job. Anyway, I did give you a warning on that.
Yeah.
Anyway, the last question it's for you. And before we close the interview, is there anything further you would like to add? Is there anything you'd like to tell the viewers?
I would like to say, you know, of course, thanks for the opportunity, but also I would like, as I mentioned in this tech talk, we really love feedback. So whatever, you know, customers and whoever has some comments, please get in contact with us, because we are set in this world to actually build the absolute best diving camera available, and we really want to hear as much as possible from the users about accessories, of course, the software, what we want to do of new features we want to put into the both in the sensors and in the next versions of the camera we're doing. So just ensure that people should get in contact with us. We are looking very much forward for feedback.
Okay, we've got what we will take. Yeah, Carl's just come in. He's apologising. He jumped in a bit late. We'll take his question because it's about where can we find out more info on working with testing products. Peter did say earlier, contact support. If you want to give me an email address later that I can put in the description, when this is uploaded tomorrow automatically from StreamYard, the description won't be in there fully in there. I may have put one in already, but I will enhance it. And Peter, if you can give me the email address people should contact.
Yeah, I'll do that.
I'll put it in there. So day after tomorrow, have a look in the description for this video and there'll be a contact email. Well, Peter, you know, 1 hour and 41 minutes, 41 seconds. Where has the time gone? Anyway, thanks for this live stream with me. I mean, I just couldn't believe it when you agreed, because you'd seen some of my videos and things. At one stage, I think people thought I was being a bit anti Paralens. That was never my intention. It was just to, one, put a bit of pressure on Paralens, of course, in the early stages, and two, also let people know that it is a good quality product. It is work in progress, and not really to be put off from buying it, because customer service is great. Improvements are coming out all the time. As I said earlier, I do think you need to communicate with purchasers more on what's going on. You do a great job on getting the sales side out, and if a little bit of that skill, say 20% of that skill, could go in, just tell the customers who's got it what's going on, I think that would help you out a lot, because people sell by referral, right, on your behalf. Okay, so apparently there's going to be murder at Paralens.
Yeah.
Adriano,
I saw that coming from an Umberto. I think I'll give you Umberto's email, maybe.
Carl's happy with her answer, and yeah, have you been drinking, Critter Hunter? You know, you've already told me to buy 3 years, and then Bump told me to get him a case. Yeah, I'm going to fill it beer, or I'm going to get him a decent bottle of malt whiskey if he prefers that when I see him. Okay, so we're going to close this. I mean, thank you again, Peter.
Thank you.
Thank you for the people who took the time to come on. Thank you for everyone who came up with the comments, in particular to Brock, who came on live and spoke to Peter. So that's it from us. I'm ending the broadcast. Thank you once again, everyone, and we'll see you next time.